Continue reading from Caitanya Caritamrita. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhatta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhatta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhatta Vrinda. We are on Adi-Lila, chapter 4, text 51. Sureshanam Durgam Gatir Atishayeno Panishadam Muninam Sarvaswam Pranata Patalinam Madhurima Vinishra Viniryashaha Premno Nikhila Pashupalam Bhujadrisham Sa Chaitanya Kim Me Punar Abhidrishoryas Yatipadam. Please excuse my voice, I've just gotten a sore throat. So Lord Chaitanya is the shelter of the demigods, the goal of the Upanishads, the be-all and end-all of the great sages, the beautiful shelter of his devotees, and the essence of the love of the lotus-eyed gopis. Will he again be the object of my vision? Lord Chaitanya is the shelter of the demigods. So Lord Chaitanya, he is, Krishna himself. Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself. Krishna is the shelter of all demigods. So Lord Chaitanya is the shelter of all demigods. The goal of all the Upanishads. All the Upanishads, all the Vedas. What is that? Vedascha sarver aham eva vedyo. Krishna says that. Goal of the Vedas is to understand Krishna. Lord Chaitanya is non-different. Be all and end all of the great sages, the beautiful shelter of his devotees. So he's the shelter of all the devotees and the essence of the love of the lotus-eyed gopis. Will he be again the object of my vision? So we need to take shelter of lotus of Lord Chaitanya. He is very merciful. Through him we are able to understand Krishna. It's very difficult to understand Krishna. Very, very difficult to understand Krishna. This is the mercy of Lord Chaitanya that he's openly showing us the highest. He's the one who pointed out that the highest love that exists is between the gopis and Krishna, and that Srimati Radharani's love is the topmost in that. He's the one who's giving us Krishna openly by giving us this Hare Krishna mantra. So by taking shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya, very easily we can come to Krishna. It's his mercy that we are hearing and chanting. Aparam kashyapi pranayi jana vrindasya kutuki rasastomam hritva maduram upabhoktum kam apiyaha rucham swam avavre duitam ihatadiyam prakatayan sadevas Chaitanya kritir atitaram na kripayatu. Lord Krishna desires to taste the limitless nectarian mellows of the love of one of his multitude of loving damsels, Sri Radha. And so he has assumed the form of Lord Chaitanya. He has tasted that love while hiding his own dark complexion with her effulgent yellow color. May that Lord Chaitanya confer upon us his grace. Text 51 and 52 are respectively Prathama Sri Chaitanya Ashtaka 2 and Vidya Sri Chaitanya Ashtaka 3 from the Stavamala of Srila Rupa Goswami. Srila Rupa Goswami has written a lot of Bhakti Shastras. He was specifically empowered by Lord Chaitanya to write the Bhakti Shastras for us. And one of the most famous for us is Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, which Srila Prabhupada translated as Nectar of Devotion. So Rupa Goswami is describing that Krishna, he wanted to feel what Srimati Radharani is feeling, how much love she has for him. He couldn't understand. So he wanted to feel that love. So he came as Lord Chaitanya by taking the mood of Srimati Radharani. And because he's taken her mood, Krishna is blackish. Krishna's form is blackish in color. But Lord Chaitanya, Krishna came as Lord Chaitanya. He came in the mood of Radharani. Radharani's complexion is golden. So because he's come in her mood, his complexion is golden. And that's why he's called Gauranga. Gauranga a golden complexion. His complexion is of Radharani. His mood is of Radharani. And Srila Rupa Goswami is praying for Lord Chaitanya to have mercy on us, confer upon us his grace, be merciful towards us, appealing for the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya is very, very merciful, very easy to worship him. Gaur-Nitai, very easy to worship. How? Just chant Hare Krishna. Just chant Hare Krishna, do kirtan. They are very happy. Bhavagranera hetu kaila dharma sthapana tara mukhya hetu kahishuna sarvajana. To accept ecstatic love is the main reason he appeared and re-established the religious system for this age. I shall now explain that reason. Everyone, please listen. So Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami is continuing to explain to us about the appearance of Lord Chaitanya. Mula hetu age shlokera kaila abhas, ebe kahi e shlokera artha prakash. Having first given hints about the verse describing the principal reason why the Lord appeared, now I shall manifest its full meaning. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Hladini Shakti Rasmad Ekatma Nav Api Bhuvi Purade Habedam Katau Chaitanya Kyam Praktam Aduna Tadvayam Chaikyam Aptam Radha Bhava Duti Suvalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. The loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestations of the Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, they separated themselves eternally. Now these two transcendental identities have again united in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him, who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. This text is from the diary of Srila Rupa Swarup Damodar Goswami. It appears as the fifth of the first 14 verses of Sri Caitanya Caritamrita. So this verse of Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami, who is a very confidential associate of Lord Chaitanya, gives us the position of who Radha and Krishna. Radha and Krishna are one in their identity. Radha and Krishna are one actually, but they have eternally separated themselves. They have eternally separated. Why? To exchange this loving pastimes. Who's Radharani? Radharani is Krishna's own internal Hladini Shakti, own internal pleasure-giving potency. She's non-different than Krishna. She is the potency by which Krishna feels pleasure. But for the sake of pastimes, they have eternally separated. So when Radha and Krishna are having their loving pastimes, there is nothing wrong. She is his own potency. But because people don't understand the truth of Radha and Krishna, people just like to find faults. And then now Radha and Krishna have combined. These two transcendental identities have again combined in the form of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya is Radha and Krishna combined. He's Krishna himself with the mood of Radharani, sentiment, mood, and the complexion of Radharani. So this is the identity of Srimati Radharani and Krishna and Lord Chaitanya. So it's a very, very famous verse, very important verse, and it's quoted many, many times. Radha Krishna Eka Atma Dui Deha Dhari Anyonye Vilase Rasa Ashvadana Kari. Longer. Radha and Krishna are one and the same, but they have assumed two bodies. Thus, they enjoy each other, tasting the mellows of love. Radha and Krishna are one and the same. They have assumed two bodies. Thus, they enjoy each other, tasting the mellows of love. The two transcendentalists, Radha and Krishna, are a puzzle to materialists. The above description of Radha and Krishna from the diary of Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami is a condensed explanation, but one needs great spiritual insight to understand the mystery of these two personalities. So we hear, many people, they don't know anything about Radha Krishna. They'll just keep talking, finding fault in them, finding fault in their behavior, but without actually truly understanding the true position of Radha and Krishna. So what is it? One is enjoying in two. Krishna is the potent factor and Srimati Radharani is the internal potency. According to Vedanta philosophy, there is no difference between the potent and the potency. They're identical. We cannot differentiate between one and the other any more than we can separate fire from heat. So Krishna, he's the powerful, and Srimati Radharani, she is his power. Srimati Radharani, his internal potency, his pleasure-giving potency, the potency by which he feels bliss, that is Srimati Radharani. So they are one and the same. She is his own potency, and they have eternally separated into two, so to enjoy this loving pastime. Alone, how much can you enjoy? But when they are two, you enjoy. So Krishna is the same. But who's Radharani? She is his own potency. Everything in the absolute is inconceivable in relative existence. Therefore, in relative cognizance, it is very difficult to assimilate this truth of the oneness between the potent and the potency. The philosophy of inconceivable oneness and difference propounded by Lord Chaitanya is the only source of understanding for such intricacies of transcendence. So it's very difficult for people to understand, oh, what do you mean they are one and the same? One and different, one and different. What does it mean? One and different means Radharani is his energy. So Krishna is the powerful, she is his power, she is his energy. That's how. Achintya Beda, Abeda, Tattva. Fire and heat. How do you separate fire and heat? You can't separate them. It's the quality, the fire is there, the heat is its energy. You can't separate it. So in fact, Radharani is the internal potency of Sri Krishna, and she eternally intensifies the pleasure of Sri Krishna. Impersonalists cannot understand this without the help of a Mahabhagavat devotee. So only a pure devotee can explain to us this internal, the most confidential position of Radha and Krishna. She's the one who gives more and more pleasure to Krishna. Because she is his pleasure-giving potency. He experiences pleasure through her. The very name Radha suggests that Srimati Radharani is eternally the topmost mistress of the comforts of Sri Krishna, Radha. She makes sure that Krishna is most comfortable. That's what is her desire. That's what she does. As such, she is the medium transmitting the living entity's service to Sri Krishna. Devotees in Vrindavan therefore seek the mercy of Srimati Radharani in order to be recognized as loving servitors of Sri Krishna. So we go to Vrindavan, we'll hear the Brajvasis, they'll say Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe. Why? Because they are wanting to attract the mercy of Radharani. Why? Because she engages everyone in the service of Sri Krishna. She's the medium transmitting the living entity service to Sri Krishna. So that's the reason we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. When we are saying Hare, we are calling out to Srimati Radharani in the vocative. Hara, Hara is Srimati Radharani. Hara, but in the vocative it becomes Hare. So it's, oh my dear Shri Radha, oh Mother Radha, please engage me in the service of Father Krishna. That is Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So when we are calling out, we are chanting Hare Krishna, we are calling out to the mercy of Srimati Radharani to engage us in the service of Sri Krishna. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally approaches the fallen conditioned souls of the Iron Age to deliver the highest principle of transcendental relationships with the Lord. The activities of Lord Chaitanya are primarily in the role of the pleasure-giving portion of his internal potency. So Lord Chaitanya has come to give us the highest. He came to give us the highest. That, oh, we have an eternal loving relationship with God. Can you imagine? Even like here, we are wandering around in the universe, one life after another, don't know what's happening. Where did I come from? Where am I going? What am I doing? Nothing makes sense. No matter how hard I try, things still become miserable after some time. I have to work so hard to get some sort of enjoyment. Sure, I enjoy, but I have to work so hard to get such little enjoyment. What's happening? Here we are just getting baffled, one life after another, going on, going on. And comes Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, giving us the highest. Hey, what are you doing? You have an eternal loving relationship with God. You know, you are the soul. Go back home. Just chant this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. It's the highest thing. Highest for us. Imagine, who are we? Oh, just tiny living entities. And then we are being understand, oh, each of us have a loving relationship with God, who's the most supreme, who's the creator, who's the most beautiful, most powerful, most loving, most wonderful. And we each living entity have a personal relationship with him. Amazing. So why not catch it? Why not, work towards it? And how to be situated in that relationship? Just begin by chanting Hare Krishna. So we are given the highest in the most simplest way. The absolute personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is the omnipotent form of transcendental existence, knowledge, and bliss in full. Sat Chid Ananda Vigraha. That is Sri Krishna, personality, absolute personality of Godhead, absolute. His internal potency is exhibited first as Sat, or existence, or in other words, as the portion that expands the existence function of the Lord. So Sat Chid Ananda. Krishna has unlimited energies, unlimited potencies. They are broadly, they are now being described as Sat. Sat portion, the Sat potency is eternal existence. Eternal existence. That's the Sat. Means truth, right? Sat means truth, means absolute, eternal, always there, always the same. When the same potency displays full knowledge, it is called Chit or Samvit, which expands the transcendental forms of the Lord. So through his Chit potency or Samvit potency, that is the knowledge part, full knowledge, and he expands himself with that potency. Finally, when the same potency plays as a pleasure-giving medium, it is known as Hladini, or the transcendental blissful potency. Thus, the Lord manifests his internal potency in 3 transcendental divisions. So Hladini potency, transcendental blissful potency, the potency by which Krishna feels ever more and more blissful, more and more happiness, more and more joy. That is Hladini potency. That is Srimati Radharani, personified. She's a personification of his Hladini potency. So these are the main 3 potencies of Krishna. Sat Chid Ananda. Sat Chid Ananda. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Any comments or questions?
No, I'm good.
Stop here for today. Shri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanandi, Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.